All right, thank you so much for joining us. It is still Garden City Rendezvous, and we're reaching you. All right, thank you so much for joining us. This is Garden City Rendezvous, and we're reaching you from the studio of NTA Port Harcourt Network Center. Right about now, I have some guests with me in the studio. You know that 23rd of September is set aside as International Day for Sign Language, and today on the program we shall be having some guests that will come share their thoughts on the need for sign language in our places of work and, of course, in our places of education and so on. All right, so joining me on set this morning to look at the International Day of Sign Language, from my far left, I have the acting chairman, River State Deaf Association, Henry Mbenwa. We're glad to have you join us in the studio.
Thank you.
All right, so also with us in the studio we have Glory Adamawoke. She is the President, Association of Sign Language Interpreters, River State Chapter. We're also glad to have you in the studio.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning.
So how you doing? How's the day been for you people?
Good.
Okay. All right, we're glad to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
All right, so let's begin this way. International Day of Sign Language. I want to start first from asking you. Let me start from you, Gloria. Let's talk about how does sign language actually differ from spoken spoken language. Let's start from there.
Okay. Sign language differ from spoken language because it is the language that is spoken through the fingers.
Okay.
And the spoken language is spoken verbally. Okay, but they mean the same thing. The spoken language speak English here in Nigeria, apart from the non-English speaking countries. We speak English when we do spoken English, and we speak English when we do sign language. So the only thing that differs is the finger talking.
Okay.
That is why you see sometimes they call sign language interpreters talking fingers. Because they still talk what the spoken English speak, but through the finger.
We're happy to hear that from you. Okay, let's begin to look at this year's theme. Let's talk about this year's theme. Tell us about this year's theme and, of course, the reason for this year's theme.
This year's theme is sign up for it.
Okay. So what necessitated this theme? Help us understand the meaning of the theme when they say sign up for sign language.
Sign up for sign language.
Yes.
Sign up for sign language is an inclusive language. What we were trying to portray is, if possible, everyone needs to know a little bit of sign language, if possible, because the importance of sign language interpreting can never be overemphasized because of the various places it's used for. So if possible, even you need to know a little of sign language. The man out there needs to know a little of sign language, and everybody around needs to know a little of sign language for an inclusive society.
Okay. Now, talking about an inclusive society, let me come to Henry now. And Henry, tell us a little about the importance of this year's theme that says sign up for sign language. Let's have your own thoughts.
Okay, fine, thank you. Because it is time for sign language. He can't hear anything, but there is an established sign. So the hearing people needs to learn sign language that will make as a skill, learn sign language as a skill, so that the hearing people, as you voice and as you sign, the deaf that is with you there that sees you can understand and be on the same page with you. So that you can teach everybody about sign language. So this year's theme is about teaching, spreading sign language for everybody to understand, for the deaf and the hearing person to be on the same page.
So what he's saying is, in essence, is that it is important that we mark this day for sign language.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we've established the fact that sign language is also important. Okay. Now let's talk about. We've also talked about Gloria. We've talked about that sign language is important, so to speak. Now, tell us the role sign language can actually play in, education. The role it can play in employment and every other facet of our society.
Okay. Just as I have said before now that the role of sign language can never be overemphasized. It's important. Now, in every institution interfaces with diverse persons, of which the deaf community is one of the persons that every institution interfaces with. If you go to the churches, you will see the deaf there. You go to the hospital, they go to the same hospital we go. We do not have a hospital where you say this hospital is only for the deaf. But the same BMH, the same UPTH, the same private hospital that the hearing go, you also see the deaf go there. Now, the importance of sign language interpreting or the interpreter, the importance of an interpreter is to bridge the communication gap. A doctor will not know what to diagnose. A nurse will not know where to touch. But he or she needs to ask questions. And if your communication is when you understand me, I understand you. If not, in fact, in a way, we all have hearing barrier in a way. If I am from an Ikwere and someone from Akwa Ibom is speaking to me, I will just be like the deaf if I can't understand that language. So it is the sign language interpreter bridge the gap in the school, in the education sector, why the teaching is going on. The sign language relate what the teacher, what the lecturer is teaching to the deaf, and the deaf can now go back to his or her book, read and understand what has been taught because the interpreter has done a job. The same in seminars. They can only be part of that seminar when there is someone bringing the communication down to their own understanding. In hospital, in the legal sector, not long ago, I went to assist a deaf in the court having an issue. But because when we came first, the judge was like, how are we going to understand? We have nothing to do. And the lawyer said, an interpreter is here. And it made everything easy and possible. So they were able to ask the question. They were able to establish facts from the deaf. If not, it will be I am saying, and they don't know whether I was really saying what they did. But because they had the deaf they saw the deaf interpret to me, and I interpreted, and they asked the same question. They show they can read. The deaf can read. They are schooled like the hearing people. So the sign language interpreter only bring down the communication to the deaf.
Okay, now let me go back to Henry now. Henry, please, can you share a personal experience where a sign language made a difference, in your life?
Okay. When the hearing sign is important because I have so many experience, so many hard situations, even in terms of healthcare, education, even in our awareness week to carry such out, even in the courts, even in police station, hospital, different settings, different people. I have a very serious large body. But when the hearing persons learn sign language, it makes people to understand him and reduce his burden. So that is the importance of sign language for him. Example, last week, he was at the police station, so he called an interpreter to come. and the interpreter explained the situation, explained everything to the officer, and they asked him question. It was very easy for them to settle it. And weeks ago at the commissioner's office, yes, so the former chairman of the organization, they had an issue at hand, so which they decided to settle. So with the use of interpreter, through the use of sign language, that challenge was settled amicably, and everybody, including him, went home happy.
Okay, now he should also share his experience. How does he navigate his daily activities and, of course, life, on daily basis? How does he navigate without any, hassle or stress?
Fine. Just know that, okay, he is educated, so he uses his eyes to see. Then sometimes he uses his hearing aids to help him pick up some sounds. And he uses his mindset, he uses his mind to, his hindsight to look behind, to know how he moves, in order for him to be safe.
Okay, now when he gets to get something, or he has to buy something, or he needs to communicate, interact with people, how does he cope? He should share with us.
Okay, fine. Okay, so it is easy. If I want to buy Gary, for instance, I will ask, I will spell in my hands, I will write it in my hands. Then the people should be able to understand. Then they will know that he's a deaf, so they will look at his lips and know that he can't hear. So they will either write for him, then he's able to understand whatever you write. Then with that, he'll be happy for that day.
Wow, awesome experience. It's really not. I can smile in. It's really a beautiful experience. And so, coming to you back, Gloria. Now let's talk to you. What do you think that we can do more? Now that we're talking about sign language, we're marking this day. What do you think that we can do more in our places of work? Just like he mentioned, he said when we access the same healthcare, you have problems with the same police station, the same market we attend, and all of that. What can we do, to ensure that we enjoy this inclusiveness, where they are given an opportunity also to be, to be heard? And
Okay, in fact, what we are supposed to do, NTA is already doing it.
okay.
This we are doing already is an inclusive thing. The deaf outside here are benefiting from what we are doing, because before this time, they used to feel they don't love us, they don't include us in things. But when you do your news, you have a space for them. I think I want to say to other organizations, other institutions should also imbibe this. In the court, like I said, we have. I was invited by the deaf. But at least the court, the government, let me go this way, the government should employ a standby sign language interpreter.
Just in case
Just in case. Because I remember one of the occasions I was not available, and I had to make calls to be sure an interpreter was there. If that interpreter was not there, it will mar the day for the deaf. But if there was an employed interpreter, just like NTA has done, now there won't be need for running around when things like this come up. So in other institutions, both in the educational sector, I also want to, in our state here, Ajuru does it, Ignatius Ajuru University, they have interpreters there. When it comes to lecturing, interpreters are there to interpret it to the deaf. So other institutions, this is a way. In the hospital, they should also have a department or have a sign language interpreter, so that there will be no emergency. Because emergency situation can occur to anybody. The deaf, they are humans like us. So emergency situation can occur at any time, and they will be there to bridge the gap.
Okay, we're super excited that we are setting the pace, because every of our in our news a bulletin for 7, we usually have the sign language, just to enjoy this inclusiveness we're talking about. Now I want to hear from Mr. Henry himself. Now he is the acting chairman. I want to find out from him, what does he think can be done for more inclusiveness, so that everybody will be carried along. What does he think can be done?
Okay. We are happy. We are happy that everything is going on well, at least. So in our deaf community, we have sent several letters to government, so that they can include the use of sign language interpreters more in most programs. So we want the deaf culture to be maintained, meaning that they see them as very important to engage skilled interpreters. Then you see that with that, the interpretive work will profit the life of even the deaf and the interpreters to reduce stress.
Okay. Thank you. So from Henry Mbenwa, please leave us with your final message to everyone that is watching right now.
Okay. I want to just say thank you all for this opportunity to reason with us on the use of sign language interpretation. So I want to say thank you all, as I pray that more persons will be able to learn the deaf language, even on TV, and the River State, the use of spoken words only will be reduced, so that NSL can also be used as a language. Just like now, NTA has a standby interpreter. That is good for the society to emulate.
All right, thank you, Henry. They were there for appreciating what NTA is also doing. Now, from you, Gloria Adama, please leave us with your final word as we say our goodbye.
Okay, I want to thank NTA for this opportunity given to the sign language interpreter and the deaf community. I think we are happy. And I also want to make this call to the society at large. Please, whenever there is a program, the sign language interpreters are there. Call on us. Well, we come. Whenever you call on us, we will not hesitate to come, so that the deaf community can benefit. I also want to say that there is need for training of upcoming interpreters, or at least for people to understand. So institutions, in fact, even like NTA can hold a program, say, come and train our staff.
Okay.
So that they'll be able to communicate with the deaf outside here, not necessarily to work as an interpreter, but so that you won't really be lost when you see a deaf. In an emergency situation, you might want to help. Okay. So just a little of the sign language, everybody needs it. And we, the sign language interpreters, we are ready. Call on us, we will be there. Thank you.
All right, call on us, we will be there. On that note, I'd like to say thank you to the acting chairman, River State Deaf Association, Henry Mbenwa. We thank you for coming. And of course, to the President Association of Sign Language Interpreter, River State Chapter, Glory Adama. Thank you also for coming.
Thank you.
And of course, behind the person signing is our own Gillette. Wow, for us, I appreciate you for the time. Well, it's a clearance call here. And of course, the Association of Deaf and of course interpreters are saying let's be more inclusive. Government should ensure that they provide sign language interpreters in their various events, so that even the deaf community can be carried along. And we're hoping that this message will go further than it is from here. Once again, I want to say thank you for coming on the program. All right, all right, sir. That's our program. Garden City continues in a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.